Industries that are hot, sectors set to outperform the market. That's what's here in Zacks Industry Rank Analysis. Round and round that Rotblut radar goes. Where it stops this week, only he knows. So let's bring him in here. Charles Rotblut, our senior market analyst at Zacks.com, who puts this piece together for us each week. We know where it's going to stop this week. It's going to stop on the discount retailers. That's what you're focusing in on your radar screen.
Yeah, I feel like we should have a spinning wheel in back of us. So we can just kind of like the Price is Right, get one of those huge wheels.
Right. That's
get
right.
up there, kind of turn it. Yeah, speaking of Prices are Right, we're talking about discount retailers. Nice little segue.
Yes, absolutely. Their prices have been right apparently for a while because as consumers shift to the Walmart world of spending, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for good pricing.
They are, and it's interesting. You look at some of the news coming out of the discount retailers, Family Dollar stores, TJX companies, which owns TJ Maxx, Marshalls, etc., ROST stars are all seeing increased foot traffic, which is really important because not only do you want to see the register ring, but you want to see more consumers come in there. And people, because of the economy, are definitely looking for bargains. Mm-hmm. Even consumers that have stable employment right now, they're being more conscious about how they're spending. And this is a trend we actually saw start last year. And there was some concern that maybe, a lot of the good optimism was priced into these stocks, that this frugality wouldn't last, and as things would start to stabilize, we'd start to see money move away from these retailers, and quite the opposite. People are staying frugal. They're continuing to watch their spending, and that's really helping these companies.
Well, many of them have changed over to a cash-only lifestyle. Many of them have started shunning their own material things that they've been acquiring for these many years. I mean, I think I read recently where the garage sale listings on Craigslist in the past year up 60%. So it's no wonder that they're doing well. The question is, in this economic transformation that the consumers are going through, how long do you think that this frugality thing is going to be, ingrained in their minds?
That's hard to say, and there's a lot of discussion back and forth about it. When we look at the second half of the year, it does seem likely that we'll see higher credit card defaults, even though we've seen Capital One and even Target, which is in the discount retailer variety group, actually have talked about seeing some better signs in their credit card division. Overall, I do think we're going to see credit card defaults rise. We're going to see home foreclosures continue to rise, and we're going to see unemployment continue to rise. Even the Fed's predicting high unemployment to last through 2010. So I think a lot of consumers are going to be worried about their jobs. They're going to be worried about the outlook. We've seen that in the two most recent consumer confidence surveys. We have one coming out at the end of this week from the University of Michigan, an updated July survey. So we'll see if that's changed at all. But there's a lot of fears about jobs, and I think consumers are going to be more frugal. And the reality is consumers need to be more frugal. They've overspent in the past, and now we need to see the savings rate really rebound and consumer balance sheets being rebuilt. Obviously, increased spending on the part of consumers is a negative for the economy over the short term, but I think over the long term it could help. As a country, we're terrible savers, and obviously you look around, there's so many things that's easy to spend money on. $4 on Starbucks, $60 on cable, $100 a month on your iPhone service, all these small charges which don't seem that big by themselves add up.
Right.
So I do think you're seeing the shift in consumers, and we're seeing it definitely with discount retailers where they are actually going through. Family Dollar actually talked about how they're seeing some of the lower margin merchandise actually sell better, but they're also seeing average transaction dollars increase. So consumers are looking for cheaper items, but when they're going to discount retailers, they're spending more money. So it's a net benefit for these retailers, and it does represent a shift in consumer habits.
Is the financial crisis and the economic crisis going to have to end before we see any shift in consumer spending at all, you think?
I think overall, yes. I think at the fringes you will see some increases. Obviously, we can look at iPhones. Apple had another phenomenal quarter in terms of iPhones. So I do think consumers are looking for certain areas to splurge, but I think overall consumers are watching their wallets, and I think until we start seeing the employment situation really improve, not a month-over-month improvement in the number of non-farm payrolls lost, but really an improvement in the job situation where people do feel like their jobs are more plentiful. They're not so worried about their employer cutting back. I think that's the type of thing that's going to help. But you do have to wonder about consumers who have overspent. They've seen the value of their houses decline. They've seen their home equity loans cut. And I do think now that consumers are getting more accustomed to watching their spending more, I think they are going to feel more taxed. And you think you also have to consider what's going on at the local and state levels, particularly with the discussions we just had in California, the ongoing mess we have here in Illinois. People are going to see their taxes increase at the local and state level, and that's going to be an additional headwind on consumer spending.
Do you think that the upcoming back-to-school season is going to provide these discount retailers with a shot in the arm as they have sharper pricing for those back-to-school products?
It could help, and obviously we're going against tough year-over-year comps because of last year with some stimulus things being done to help spur spending. So we're not looking at really strong sales for July. We'll have to see how things are in August, but I don't think we'll see the usual strength in back-to-school spending that we've seen previously, because I think a lot of consumers are struggling, and a lot of parents have explained to their kids, hey, you know what, we can't go afford to buy those $100 Nikes for you or those really nice pair of jeans. You're just going to have to go to school with some of the stuff you used last year.
Right. All right, get on over to Zacks.com's homepage and scroll down that homepage until you get to the Industry Rank Analysis banner and the headline right under it. Click on that headline and it'll take you to the most recent piece on discount retailers that Charles has written. With Charles Rotblatt, I'm Terry Ruffalo.